He would ask me questions, and I'd be like, well, I thought you knew that, but he would ask. So he's very inquisitive about getting better.
When you played with the men at the Colonial, first LPGA player since Babe to do so, who you shared the Medal of Freedom honor with a while back. You called that week the greatest week of golf in your life. What made it that way for you?
Well, it was an amazing week. I mean, I look back at that, the week itself, but also I would say the journey towards that week. I was asked by a reporter if I would ever play with the men, and this was in 2003. I'd been number one for a while, and I was at my peak. And so when they asked the question, I'm like, yeah, I would love to do that. I walked away, and my agent at the time, Mark Steinberg, said, do you have any idea what you just said in there? And I said, yeah, I'm going to play with the men. He's like, okay. Because I practiced with Tiger. I practiced with, some of the other PGA pros. I felt like this would be great for my career. And so it was more about, okay, can I handle this? Does my game survive under, these headlines or spotlight? So that was kind of the journey, those 4 months until May. There was a lot of interviews. A lot of people all of a sudden was interested in the game. And I was just trying to focus on getting better, Maybe it was more mentally, just understanding that, hey, Annika, you're going to be shortest. You're going to be, hit to the green first, just kind of have a different mindset. It was great, looking back at it. I learned so much about my game. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about golf. The bigger picture is more, when you have a dream and, you have to have the courage to try something, don't be afraid. Because, if I would have said no there, I'd probably still sit here today and say, you know what, I wish I knew what it would have been like. If you want to grow yourself and mature and get better, you have to kind of get uncomfortable to see what you're made out of.
Annoyed by Vijay Singh's comments then?
I was aware of his comments, of course. People have their opinion and, his background, I guess maybe that's, what the way he would look at things. I don't really know. And
does that motivate you more?
Not really, no. Okay. The negativity doesn't motivate me. I think the positive comments motivate me, or just emphasizes that it was a good thing. And, I had a lot of people that want to play practice rounds with me. And I think they knew my intention. I mean, intention wasn't, to go there and, put them on their spot. On the contrary, it was me. I had to really play well to even be able to perform. So I think that was fun. I look back at it with fond memories. I missed the cut, and I was exhausted. Let's put it that way. It wasn't just 2 days of golf. It was like 4 months of just giving it all. So there was nothing in the tank left. And I said, I'm going to take everything I've learned the last 4 months. I'm going to take it to the LPGA, and it will help my game. It will help the LPGA. It will help women's golf. It will help women's sports. And that to me was a win-win, and I had some great years after that.
Your caddy said this is like the Thursday morning of Colonial, 20 minutes before tee time. He's, I think, cleaning balls, looks up and sees this overwhelmed expression on your face that he said he'd never seen before that, had never seen again. What are you thinking at that time?
Yeah, you know what, there's actually a few things that I don't remember. It was such a blur. I think he told me before I teed off, I said, I don't know what I got myself into. And it's like, well, you're teeing off in 20 minutes. It's, it's right here, it's happening. It's just, how to deal with nerves, how to handle pressure, and, just all those things that you've learned in your school years and years on tour.
And how would you describe the scene there?
Oh, it was insane. I mean, I've never experienced anything like it. There was so many people. It was so much cheering. They had these green buttons that says "Go Annika," and it was so neat to see. There was a lot of girls, young girls, a lot of women, a lot of men too. I mean, there were people climbing in trees because there were not room for them to see. It was kind of the world stopped at a moment, and I was trying to breathe and stick to my routine. And then when I finally it was my turn, it was like, okay, Annika, you've hit a lot of these shots. Just trust yourself. And then when I hit it and I saw it go in the direction I had hoped, it was like kind of relief, and off we went.
Tiger, when both of you guys were at the height of your game, in what ways, if any, would you help one another?
I would say that just, understanding what it's like to be at the top, and, what it takes, the sacrifices you make, and just somebody to talk to that kind of can relate to that. Because, that's the thing. A lot of people, you win a major and they think, oh, you're happy you're done. And I was happy, but I wasn't done, So, just talking to somebody who's gone through it and what it takes, and, that was fun. And then it became competitive. It's When I won, I would text him, and when he won, he would text me, and it was like, that's kind of cool.
What impressed you about his ability?
Well, he's amazing. A few things I found: his concentration level, focus, disciplined in certain areas. He would ask me questions, and I'd be like, well, I thought you knew that, but he would ask. So he's very inquisitive about getting better. When I practiced him, he was very much into Navy SEALs, and he pushed himself very hard. He wanted to be, this super athlete. He loved that. So he was not afraid to try and experiment to get better. But the ability to focus to me was something I haven't seen before.